This video will cover how to add a problem to the problem list. To navigate to the problems list, first enter the patient chart by clicking the patient icon to the far left of the patient list. If the Problems tab is not already selected, navigate there by clicking the Problems List tab in the Patient Chart section menu. Begin creating a problem by entering the Date Time Onset field. Use the calendar and clock buttons to the right of the field to easily select a date and time of day. Select a problem type from the drop list. There are several ways to select a problem. The first is to use the drop-down list to find your diagnosis. The second is to conduct a search by typing either the name of the condition or by entering the ICD-9 code. Next, select the status of the problem from the drop-down list. You may enter a note regarding the problem within the specified field if necessary. Finally, click Save Problem to Chart to finish documenting the problem. If you navigate away from this page before clicking Save Problem to Chart, the changes to the patient chart will not be saved. As you can see, the problem has been documented successfully. You may also add an observation method to a problem that you have already created. Click the arrow to the far left of the saved problem to access the recorded observation methods for the selected problem. To add an observation method, click the Add Observation Method button. Select an observation method from the drop-down list, or enter one manually. Click Save Method to finish creating an observation method. The observation method was created successfully. That concludes the CCMS training video for adding a problem to the problem list. We hope you have found this video helpful and informative. For how to add a medication allergy to the allergy list. To navigate to the allergies page, enter the patient chart by clicking the patient icon in the patient list. Once in the patient chart, navigate to the Allergies page by selecting the Allergies tab of the Patient Chart section menu all the way to the right of the page. Adding a medication allergy is pretty self-explanatory. Enter the patient's allergen, the reaction they have for that allergen, and the severity of the reaction. To add the allergy to the list, click the Save Allergy button. If you navigate away from this page before clicking Save Allergy, the allergy will not be saved to the list. If you try to create an electronic prescription for a medication that contains a patient's allergen, you will receive a warning message stating that the patient is allergic to the medication. As you can see at the top of the page, I have received a warning message stating that the patient is allergic. This concludes the CCMS training video for adding a medication allergy to the allergy list. We hope you have found this video helpful and informative. This video will show you how to add to the social history section of the patient chart. To navigate to the patient history page, enter the patient chart by clicking the patient icon in the patient list. Navigate to the social history page by selecting the Family and Social tab of the patient chart section menu. Select a coded social history item from the Finding drop-down list. At this point, you may add the social history to the patient chart by clicking the Save Social History button, or you may continue entering information. Enter any notes regarding the patient within the note field. Enter the units, the time frame of the history item, the patient's current status for your selection, and who the problem was reported by. To finish adding the social history to the patient chart, click the Save Social History button. As you can see, the social history report has been successfully added to the patient chart. That concludes the CCMS training video for adding to the social history section of the patient chart. We hope this video has been helpful and informative. I'll show you how to add to the family history section of the patient chart. To navigate to the patient history page, enter the patient chart by clicking the patient icon in the patient list. Navigate to the family history page by selecting the Family and Social tab of the patient chart section menu. Select a coded family history item from the Finding drop-down list. Select the family member from the drop-down list, and then the age at onset for the selected family member. To finish adding the family history to the patient chart, click the Save Family History button. As you can see, the social history report has been successfully added to the patient chart. That concludes the CCMS training video for adding to the Family History of Illness section of the patient chart. We hope this video has been helpful and informative. We'll cover how to create an e-prescription for an existing patient. This is the CCMS patient list, where you can find all of your current patients. The first thing we're going to do is select the pill bottle icon for the patient. As you can see by looking at the top of the screen, we have been brought to the prescription writer, where we will create an electronic prescription. The first item I'd like to discuss is the selected clinic at the top of the form. As you can see, it has selected my name as the default. This is because the first time you sign in, a default clinic is created under your name. So that's why it's showing Andrew Patrick as my clinic. You can add additional clinics within your user profile, but for now, we'll use the default. Now let's write a prescription. The service level field with the 24-hour checkbox is used to set a parameter on the pharmacy search. If you select 24 hours, the pharmacy drop-down list will only display pharmacies that are open 24 hours a day. If you'd like, you may select a pharmacy from our drop-down list, or you can enter the information manually. As you can see, when I click the drop-down list without 24 hours selected, there are 7,984 pharmacies available, and I know this by the count at the bottom of the list. You can also display more pharmacies at a time within your list by clicking the down arrow at the bottom of the list. Now that I have selected the 24-hour service level, you'll notice that there are significantly less pharmacies to choose from. When I select a pharmacy from the list, the address is populated and displayed within our viewing window. There is a checkbox that allows you to search by the National Drug Code. We have another drop-down list that is used to select the product class, and as you'll notice, when I click a product class, the medication list automatically descends, displaying the drugs that correspond to the selected class. When you have selected a medication, the strength, route, and form fields are automatically populated. The next step is to select the quantity you wish to order. You can do this by entering the quantity into the field, or by using the arrow keys to step increase or decrease. Next to quantity, we have a list with units of measurement. This list will be automatically updated, but if you need to use a different unit, simply select one from the list. Then enter the number of days supply and the number of refills. To indicate dispense as written, click the DAW checkbox. Then enter the diagnosis. You may have up to 2 per prescription. You may enter any directions for your patient in the SIG field. You may also switch to the Note to Pharmacist tab to send an additional note specifically for the pharmacist. All that's left to do is to click Save and confirm your order. At this point, the prescription has not been sent. This screen gives you a chance to verify your order. The order will not be sent until you click Send to Pharmacy. And now you can see that the prescription has been sent successfully. That concludes the CCMS training video for creating an electronic prescription for an existing patient. We hope you have found this video both helpful and informative. We'll cover how to complete an examination form in the patient list. HarmoniMD comes with a wide array of documentation functionality. The examination module supports a structured examination template including an interactive anatomical diagram with annotation capabilities and a summary note generator. To get started with the examination module, select one of the forms from the drop-down list in the examination column of the patient list. To fill out the form, expand each of the exam fields. Then add a component to the form by selecting yes or no for each of the components that apply to the patient's problem. Each component has a note field next to it where you can add any additional information you require. While completing the form, you may press Ctrl and Home together at any time to return to the top of the page. To use the interactive anatomical diagram for the form, navigate to the Diagram tab in the section menu. The buttons on the right-hand side of the anatomical diagram are annotation tools used to customize your diagram. After using one of the annotative tools, be sure to deselect it by clicking elsewhere on the diagram. Otherwise, when you save your edited diagram, the filter that's currently selected will not be saved. The Sticky Note Annotation tool allows you to add a customized note to the anatomical diagram. Once you have finished annotating the anatomical diagram, click the Save button to finish editing the diagram. To use the program's Summary Note Generator, select the Note tab in the section menu. Click the Create Note button to begin editing your summary note. As you'll notice, any component that you have selected in the checkout sheet appears in the Summary Notes text editor under the appropriate component. Here you may edit the note however you like. Click the Save button once you have finished to complete the examination form. The finished examination form is displayed. At this time, you may check to make sure all the entries are correct and fix any incorrect data. That concludes the CCMS training video for creating an examination form using the dynamic anatomical diagram and summary note generator.